We need to open up travel, intracontinental travel, and we need to open up the right to be able to go and work in each other's countries. In the Caribbean, for example, they have CARICOM, and CARICOM allows members of the Caribbean community to go to each other's country. Once you're skilled, you know, and go and offer something positive. So some skills may not be resident in that particular country, but you can go to another, you can get another Caribbean country member to come and work with that particular skill. It might be in medicine, it might be in computers, it might be in meteorology, something specific that the country may be too small.
And economic ties grows from there.
Not only that, you may not have had accelerated education in specific skills areas. Everybody will have probably the basic education, but specialization in certain areas. Some countries have more than others, like, for example,
yes,
Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, Barbados. They tend to have more, what I would call different skill sets than a smaller country like, say, Grenada or St. Lucia, who may just have, just enough of a population to skill set for what they need, but when something specific comes up, they may have to borrow from the other CARICOM countries. So it's the same in Africa. Nigeria may want some specific skills from South Africa. South Africa may want some specific skills from Nigeria that we are good at.
Well, moving forward, you realize that while the federal government is also looking to get more foreign direct investments from the international community, security still remains a major challenge in the country. And as you well may know, investors are also looking for safe havens to deposit their money, so that taking it out would not be a problem.
Yes. Well, I think that borders on the financial system. That borders on companies and profits. If you come into a particular country and the financial system says you can come, you have tax holidays, you can make your profit, you can leave with it, I don't think security becomes the challenge. I think it's the financial security you're talking about. But if you're talking about security general, that's another matter.
Because, I mean, when you compare, and that's why you see that we have more foreign portfolio investment coming into the country than foreign direct investment. This would, when you talk about the foreign direct investment, we're talking about building of infrastructure, so, companies, manufacturing companies that would now bring about more jobs. Foreign portfolio investment, you can take out your money if it's in the stock market, But then this is what we need here in Nigeria. But investors, I don't know.
Well,
what confidence do they have?
I think we have to have a different approach. Manufacturing, yes, does provide more jobs, and you have to look more in the medium to long term for return on your investment. As a businessman, I would say that is what a manufacturer would look at. I think what manufacturers have to do is perhaps, and I have to again mention the Ghana model. What Ghana has now said and done is that every industry coming into Ghana must be in a specific location and must partner with the locals. So that way there is longevity for that manufacturing company. There's involvement. There's involvement with the locals. The locals have an interest in that company remaining and staying because it's providing jobs in their locale. So maybe Nigeria needs to adopt that policy. You come in as a manufacturer, yes, we give you safe haven, we give you tax holidays, employ locals, not bring your own people and then you leave when you think, things are getting a little bit too hot for you and you have made enough money and you run away. No, come in, partner with the country and the locale, and don't have too many of the same concentrated in the same area. So we have 36 states, 36 different types of manufacturers should locate in locales. So you go into a particular locale in that state. Even if you're going to have another manufacturer in that same state, it must be different. So perhaps you're doing tomatoes in Benue, tomato juice, somebody else does mango, somebody goes to where they have the oranges, the Arabic, gum Arabic, etc., and they are partnering with the locals, the local farmers, etc., who may form themselves into cooperatives, and they're also employed in the factory, and they're learning skills.
Nigeria has reduced the cost of visa charges for citizens of the U.S. from $180 to $160. And on the other hand, we have the U.S. placing, visa restriction on for immigration on Nigerians.
They may know a little bit more about a particular country, why they place these restrictions. Is it a security issue? Is it an overstay issue that you have overstayed? in the country. I mean, there's a statistic that's saying most Nigerians who visit the US, 90% of them don't return. So maybe they've used that statistic. A lot of Americans who have come here have mentioned that maybe in the areas that they have gone to, there's a security risk. They would have taken that into their consideration. So all those things they will put in consideration and say, yes, and say, okay, these countries, for this particular time period, maybe it might be 6 months, maybe 3 months, a year, let's monitor the situation and talk to the government. They have backdoor diplomacy. And can you put these things into place so that we can ease this restriction or remove it?
Thank you so much, Ambassador. For the sake of time, that's all we can have. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's all on Business News at this hour. I am Irene Ubani.
We go to entertainment news now, where Chris Brown has been ordered to pay sanctions to the woman suing him over an alleged rape at his Tanzania, California home in 2017. According to court documents, a Los Angeles judge has demanded the singer pay $2,500 to the unidentified accuser while setting a date for Brown to be deposed. The plaintiff filed a suit against Brown and an associate, Lowell Grissom Jr., claiming the singer tried to ply her with drugs during a house party before his friend sexually assaulted her. He has denied the allegations. The Jane Doe recently asked the court to force Chris to sit for a deposition, and a judge overseeing her case has agreed, ordering the star to meet with lawyers on February 19, 2020. The news comes just days after Chris' lawyers filed motions to drop him as their client, insisting he failed to meet his obligations under their contract. And that is it on entertainment. To bring you sports news after this break. Former world #1 and two-time Grand Slam champion Naomi Osaka suffered a shock defeat to world number 78 and Spain's Sara Sorribes Tormo in their Fed Cup tie as Japan loses to Spain. Osaka lost her opening 10 points on serve as Sorribes Tormo dominated in the opening set of the match at La Manga Club in Murcia. The Japanese player, who have dropped in the world ranking to number 10, led 2-0 in the second, but Sorribes Tormo came from behind to win the set, playing on clay at the Centro de Tenis La Manga Club. Sorribes Tormo beat Osaka for the first time in the three career matches, 6-0, 6-3 in 1 hour, 17 minutes. Spain has not lost to Japan in their 3 previous Fed Cup ties. And that is our news roundup of events at this hour. For more news updates, please follow us at Plus TV Africa on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel at Plus TV Africa. We'll be back later with more stories making the headlines, so please join us again. Thank you for your time.
Welcome to Tea Time on Plus TV Africa, where we bring you the biggest entertainment stories and, of course, analyze them for you.
You can have both parents and still end up as a useless child. I see them every day.
Most times I worry more about where I'm coming from and where I am now, and that determines my next step.
Why are you sounding like
Alibaba
now?
Plus TV Africa, we're feeling good. No time to dull, everybody feeling alright.
can still make music and people are still buying. That's why they look myself minimal IU.
Akpala music is for mature-minded people. I got DMs sometimes from Malawi, like,
Sleeping early.
Hey, what's up, guys? You're welcome to another edition of Plus Event, and I remain your host, Ifeoluwa Oshuke. Your absence isn't an excuse anymore, as Plus Events is all you need, as we bring you the glitz, the glamour, and loads of fun.
Oh, definitely. No question. He's a living legend.
Oh, God forbid, Holy Ghost fire, I know.
I just want to be blown away. I want to be wild. This is 11 years of doing it.
I'm surrounded by so much positivity.
No, it's okay.
Yo, what's up, my people? It's your boy Starboy Terry. You're watching
Plus Event on Plus TV.
Stay glued to Plus TV Africa every Saturday and Sunday, 4:30 p.m. West African time.
A lot of the jobs that exist today will not exist in the next 10 years.
When I see people today shouting, we're not too young to run, we are ready to run. Ready to run to where?
The people of excellence are, to a certain extent, being held ransom by idiots and bandits.
Once you are in government, you believe everything you do is right. And once you are in opposition, everything the government does is wrong.
And so it's time for us to take over power.
My guest on this episode is one of the respected entertainment lawyers in Nigeria, Yemisi Falaye.
Creatives are a special breed. If you're not passionate about them and what you do for them, you're going to get frustrated. For now, there was nothing like law in the entertainment industry. People didn't know that they have to document their piece of work. You know, I can do beats, let's do beats. I can sing, let's vibe, and that's it. Some people still don't get it. They will still wait to get into trouble before they come to you. Once you sign an agreement, you are absolutely bound by the provisions of the agreement. People think Zlatan is this crazy guy that just likes to make trouble. But the contrary, Zlatan is a church boy.
Premiering this Monday at 12:30 p.m. and a repeat broadcast at 8:30 p.m. on Plus TV Africa.
Is it me, or does it feel like we're being spoiled for choice on topics to advocate on? There's so much going on this year.
I've spoken with a house help before, and I just asked, what's her name? She mentioned something. I said, so is that really your name? Then she laughed, and then she mentioned her name. You can imagine the indignity that you even take the name away from that 15-year-old. She has never stepped in a school.
Wow.
At age 50.
Yeah. So why would a graduate want to ride Okada?
But in Italy, they ride motorcycles up and down.
The rats that go over the grains, where they dry the grains, is the same Gary you buy from the market. So it's not that you in wherever you live, I don't know, the highbrow area, Banana Island.
Still buy,
you buy that
make your own Gary.
It will still come to you.
The difference is with
unless you cook it,
you're meant to cook it.
Yeah, but people drink Gary.
Yes, that's
okay. The rich don't drink Gary.
No. I think beans and Gary.
Yes, they go together. You buy that one that they sell in small bag.
This is it for upcoming artists to blow in Nigeria.
Welcome to Plus Trending. I am Buki November, your host, saying thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Welcome back. It's tea time on Plus TV Africa.
Practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm a lot better than I used to be.
He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to.
In a world of overwhelming voices, where everyone has something to say,
it is important that we bring the core issues to the fore.
As we lend our voices to inspire, inform, influence, and provoke your thoughts and action.
We want to hear these issues and know what you are saying. This is not just women talking.
It is an evocative program that touches the core of our existence.
We take on topics some may consider taboo and want to sweep under the carpet.
We understand that what touches one touches all.
We know you have a lot to say, so let's hear you.
Thank you for staying with us. This is Tea Time on Plus TV Africa, where we discuss the biggest entertainment stories and just making rounds. My name is Elsie Godwin, and I've got my co-anchors with me, Nimi Dekombi and Ifeoluwa Oshunkaye.
It's good.
Hey guys.
It's good.
How are you?
Not bad. You?
I'm great. Awesome. Still
looking forward to the Friday turn up.
Yeah, that's now that you mentioned it. Do you think I can go to the club looking like this? Because I feel like I've not utilized this
look.
Yeah, you know. So
oh yeah,
do you
why
think...
not? You can, depending on what area.
I'll help you show the complete shade. What area?
Maybe at your boy Paja.
Wow. So this is how they go to club in Ayo Boy Paja. If I said it, I have no idea. I've never been to a club in Ayo Boy Paja, but I mean, you're talking from experience, right?
Yeah, that's what my family house is.
Okay, so you've seen them go to a club like this.
Well, I wouldn't expect less.
Wow. Okay, moving on real quick. Let's not dwell on that. Nigerian Police Special Fraud Unit, PSFU Ikoyi unit, has arraigned Iyanya in court for alleged car theft. He was arraigned before Justice Mobolanle Okikiolu-Igile of the Igboshere High Court, Lagos. The case is said to have been filed against the Nigerian singer on March 15, 2019. The police alleged that Iyanya dishonestly converted a black Toyota Land Cruiser Prado Jeep, a property of the Temple Management Company Limited. According to documents, Iyanya committed the crime in September 2018. He, however, pleaded not guilty, and the case has been adjourned to February 27.
Okay, so I think we need more details to this case before we can even weigh in on that. But I think it's a case of it's a car that was given, because I think it was being managed by Temple Music for a while, and I think it was a car that was given to him and it was supposed to return, and I think he has refused to return it or something of sort, and that's why they're calling it car theft. So it's just a word, but it's not like, because people think, oh, Iyanya went to steal car and he's not.
Well, car theft is car theft as well. From what I heard, or let me say, like Oyibo will call it, inside source. So when he was still in a good standing with Maven had a relationship with Temple. So Temple invested some money into Iyanya. So as part of the management and the money invested, he was given this Jeep, right? So later on, I think right now, Temple and Maven is no longer as close as they used to be. And Temple now also have, they have their own music label right now, and Iyanya then saw that as a cue to change the number plates on the car from their normal Maven, NIY or something, because that's the same number plate that Dr. Sid and Tiwa had at some point. So he changed it to his personal number plates. And he has he had not appeared in court for like 6 times now, and even the lawyer was saying that he wanted they remind him in the correctional center, but he was lucky enough to go home.
Thank God I didn't need any inside source. I just knew that was the story.
So if you're changing a car that is not expressly yours, then you're still
that is actually
it's not yours.
So I'm not surprised that he pleaded not guilty, because according to even the court documents, it was actually a breach of a criminal code. They studied there. So
I don't know why he's pleading not guilty, but I think
he has to plead not guilty now. Hopefully, I think what they'll finally do is to come out and settle out of court. I'm hoping that's what will happen.
Whenever you see all of these high-profile cases, exactly. When you see all of these high-profile cases, most of the time they always settle out of court. They never ever allow it to.
So why did he let it get to this point? Because this has been on since early last year.
Yeah.
I mean, it started from 2018, but it got to court early last year, and you left it till. I think he thought they were joking.
Side of the story, maybe it would be like, okay, when you guys were managing me, when the Temple people were managing him as well, maybe he went for some shows and they haven't paid him everything. I'm sure there would always be a story. You know how people, there would always be a reason
maybe he signed the contract.
He feels what's it called, entitled to the car.
Okay, now he's entitled in court, so they would decide what they want to do for themselves.
I think they're going back to court February 18th and 19th or when?
27th. Yeah.
Okay,
We'll keep an eye on that one. Hopefully we don't hear he's out of court or not hear anything at all. Anyway, moving on to a very funny story. A podcaster and Christian activist says he thinks we ought to sue NFL over J-Lo and Shakira's halftime show at the Super Bowl. In one of his episodes, he argued that there were no warnings that the peddled porn, according to him, would be streaming into his living room, and whoever is responsible is keeping him from getting into the kingdom of God, stating that it is discriminatory for him to say he wants to watch the Super Bowl, but he doesn't want to watch the halftime show. And Uncle is really angry. He's offended. He feels, what's the word now?
He was boiling with anger.
Outrage.
Well, I mean, there are so many words to
There are so many words to use.
So if this gets to court?
Well, he could have some points in some cases, but about the kingdom of heaven, I don't know about that. Because he claims debauchery, that is excessive allowance of sex, drugs, and alcohol. So he has some grounds that saying that, okay, the Super Bowl should be rated PG because people are actually there. There are kids who love football. There are people, it's a family sport that people, you're probably sitting with your 4-year-old daughter or son, and then they see, and before you know, you could see your 4-year-old daughter practicing what J-Lo was doing. And how would you feel as a mother to see that? So,
what's she doing?
Exactly.
Getting on the pole, exposing
if you watch that video, it was not even she did not really perform any sexual acts. She was just
to us, because we see it that way. There are people that will be offended
because your mind is corrupted already. Small child will not see it as sexual.
That's what you think, but you should know that these kids also always practice what.
But you know that is the culture.
Okay, imagine your daughter doing this. It's not sexual, yeah?
This is a dance move.
This is a dance move.
Yeah, it's an actual dance move.
But look,
you know this is part of their culture. Like that's their culture.
There are so many dances like that in their culture.
It may have a
so to a 4-year-old in their culture, would you know that is learning how to dance like this? Would you say that is a sexual thing?
Like, to me,
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Like you said that to
I'll be offended as a parent to see my daughter doing that.
But if it is a part of their culture,
how is it part of their culture?
This is actually part of Latino culture. Most of the dances, everything that was done,
and some of them are very sexual.
Yeah. Oh,
yes,
great.
They have different forms of dancing.
Pole dancing. I didn't ask about other forms. I'm asking about the pole.
You have been worried about pole because you have probably been to a strip club, right?
Exactly.
And you have associated the pole dance with,
a strip club.
I think it was. I don't know the issue of pole.
Exactly.
Of poles.
I'm sure that
pole dancing was was for the strip club or to what's it called now? To ignite some sort of sexual arousal and stuff like that. Yes, I believe so. I don't know the history. Like I said, don't quote me. I will go and check it. But I'm saying I believe that is what it was for.
I don't think so.
And secondly, it's a PG.
So what's the name of this dance that is done in high school that movies are usually created around?
Ballet.
Not ballet. They have cheerleaders and all. Have you seen them do that dance? They do it in high school. I can't remember the name, but I know so many movies have been done around them. they have cheerleaders basically. What I remember the cheerleaders is that they usually fight to be the ones, the big girls in the movie. But then there's something that you see them actually climb on each other and do exactly this.
Dances. Somebody could be watching that and also say it is sexual, because the truth is that some people have actually complained that some of the things that the cheerleaders wear, these cheerleaders, by the way, are teenagers. Some people have complained that what they are wearing is too sexual. So the truth is, people are always going to sexualize cheerleading.
Are we actually saying that this guy doesn't have a say in any of the things he's saying?
I'm saying that what he's saying is outrageous.
It's outrageous.
Very, very outrageous.
Okay,
because the truth is just that you have a choice. That's the thing about TV. You cannot control what.
But I think he might
exactly what he's saying.
No, he might have.
That, look, there should be a warning.
Yeah,
that,
I think from the warning parts.
Yes.
But then when we talk about diversification now, it might not stand, because if these people come from the angle of saying this is our culture, so we did not know that it's going to be offensive to you, or we did not.
Is it your culture to be almost half naked during your performance?
There are several cultures.
Maybe go and watch their dance steps.
I'm talking about dressing now.
Let's take it back to my state.
He was offended by the exposure of crotch a lot too. You know that, right?
That was what he said, that they exposed their crotch because of what the clothes that they wore. But I would say that number one thing that people are forgetting in this conversation is that
How did you see? Did you see crotch? During the slides, you see crotch. During this, you see crotch.
That's what I'm saying.
Everywhere you turn, you see crotch.
Looking at that. But what I would say is that people always seem to forget that it's the Super Bowl. This is not the first time that they are having a mini concert during the Super Bowl. You know that they are going to be performances.
He said that too, that he doesn't watch it because of previous, but he doesn't mean it's the right thing to be done. I believe, okay, if there's for instance, there's a movie with so much flashy lights, they want people to have epilepsy, that okay, there are going to be flashy lights in this movie, so if you have epilepsy, do not watch. So if you know that your dancers are going to be almost naked or wearing stuff,
but
let me jump in and say this, that last year during the 2019 Super Bowl, what was, for a lot of people that have come out to talk and say that they don't understand the reason why there is a huge backlash at the Shakira and J-Lo performance, because last year when Adam Levine of Maroon 5, when he did his own performance, he was topless. He was topless. He removed his shirt and he was doing a lot of sexy dancing. You think that you were in a strip club, but there was no outrage, probably because to men,
are you going to say that it's okay? Are you going to say that, okay, so if that's the case,
I'm saying there was no outrage.
I can take off my shirt right now and I'm not showing you anything sexual.
This is not Super Bowl halftime.
But you can't take off your top. So you don't compare a man and a woman.
Why would you say your body isn't sexual? Is it supposed to arouse you?
Isn't sexual, but you have something dangling. You have something that you know that I don't know how to explain it.
What you're
saying right now,
what you're doing just now is absolutely wrong.
Yes, very, very wrong.
Extremely wrong.
That's like sexism.
That's sexism.
You're saying that it's okay for a man to show off his body.
That's what you just said. You said it's okay.
Okay, but wait. When you go to the beach, you see a lot of men topless, right?
You see women wearing their bra and pants.
Exactly. Okay, so what is the purpose of the bra? To cover a part? Do I have any special clothing that was created for me to cover my chest?
So was Shakira's boobs showing?
Well, you guys have special clothing above the one beneath the one you have to wear to cover something. Do I have any special clothing created to cover anything? Unless you can tell me do I have a bra?
Hold on. What we're saying is the fact that a guy pulling off his shirt is not sexy to you. I mean, you're straight, so maybe it shouldn't be sexy to you. Does not mean it is not sexy.
I'm talking about
to the opposite
culture. I'm talking about.
I mean, who is the culture affected? Humans or animals?
Okay, wait. Let's go back to the days of Adam and Eve. When they saw God, what happened?
They were both naked and ashamed.
And they were ashamed. And if you see most of the images that were created, if you look at some of the cartoons, what do people do? They do this. You see Adam. The only thing you see Adam doing is going down. He doesn't do this.
Those pictures were created by man. You were not there in the beginning of time.
When we come back, we'll definitely have more to discuss.
Hello, beautiful people. I go by the name Black Bassi, and I am an actor and a musician. Keep watching Tea Time on Plus TV Africa.
Hello, you. Are you a poet or fiction writer? Do you love love?
If yes, then here is an opportunity to do what you absolutely love this season and stand a chance of winning cash prizes. LCEC Blog presents Love Literati Contest. To participate, write a love-themed piece of not more or less than 500 words and send to email@lcec.com. The submission must be the original unpublished work of the author. All submissions should be sent on or before February the 10th. All accepted submissions will be published on www.lcec.com. First prize is 50,000 naira, second prize is 30,000 naira, third prize is 20,000 naira. Love Literati Contest, supporting literature and love this Valentine. Proudly supported by Plus TV Africa and Mosqueda Pages.
Welcome back. Now that we've succeeded, they are now calm and ready to converse. There is one man in the industry who doesn't grant interviews, but his accolades keep pouring in from established and upcoming artists alike. He's no other than popular musician Wande Coal, and Fireboy has joined the list of Wande Coal praise singers. He took to his Instagram he took to his Twitter page to share a photo of Wande Coal with the caption, "Nobody be like Wande, love you forever, King Coal." So I wish we could get the backstory of.
Yeah, I think it's because of his song. Because Wande Coal just dropped the music.
No, that's
again.
not exactly what happened.
so.
So what happened was after Wande Coal dropped the song, some people went to start comparing Fireboy and Wande Coal, that who is better. And a Twitter user even took to his Twitter page to say that Fireboy's jealous is bigger than Wande Coal's whole career.
So Fireboy decided
So Fireboy now
respond.
decided to jump on it and say, no, don't compare me to Wande Coal. Like, nobody be like Wande. Like,
Oh, great. But
yeah.
then I listened to the song, and most of the songs on Fireboy's album was actually better.
Yeah, but you can't compare Wande.
I'm not comparing Wande and Fireboy. The music and how it made me feel is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think for me, I would say that Wande Coal is a huge name in the music industry, and to somebody like Fireboy, I would say that he would be an inspiration, because Wande Coal is an artist that Fireboy most likely listened to as he was growing up, because Fireboy is still young.
Yeah.
He's most likely an artist that he looked up to. So I would say that Fireboy is, Wande Coal is to Fireboy probably what Fela is to a Wizkid. That's what I feel. Probably somebody that you were listening to growing up, and now you're in the same industry. To even be compared to somebody like that, I'm sure it's like an honor to Fireboy. And I don't feel like they should be compared.
Wande Coal actually maintained his. He found a way to find a balance when everybody was going commercial, doing the club banger. But then he will still bring out something that makes you understand that Wande Coal does R&B, Wande Coal sings good music, Wande Coal has content, but sometimes he gives us the iskaba, you know, and then we lose it, but then he still gives you the content. So he has been able to balance his crafts to be commercial enough and also do what he really loves to do, you know. So yeah, I get him, seeing him as his
somebody he looks up to in the industry. Because to be honest, Wande Coal's artistry is really impeccable. It's somebody that, for me, even if he's not releasing any new song, he just has that stamp in the whole Nigerian music industry. He had a lot of hits. Wande Coal's album, there was one album that he released, that album is fire. So I feel like Wande Coal has just set himself in the industry that even if he's not dropping bangers now that he's competing with, you know, the kind of music that people are putting out now, he has just created that niche for himself in the music industry, and he would always be remembered for that.
Wande Coal. Okay.
I think a lot of people underestimate Wande Coal. They don't even know who the legend Wande Coal is, because Wande Coal is really a great legend. He's a ghostwriter for a lot of...
Do people really underestimate Wande Coal?
Yeah, I'm talking about the fans. The people in the industry know who Wande Coal really is. We've had a lot of artists on this show, and you ask them what your musical influences, and Wande Coal comes up every now and then. Do you understand? So a lot of people actually is a great vocalist, is a songwriter, is a producer, is a dancer. So it's a total package. Do you understand? So comparing a Wande Coal to Fireboy is kind of disrespectful. If you're even looking for somebody with a vocal power to compare Wande Cole with. I don't think it should be. Fireboy is a great singer. Don't get me wrong.
Fireboy is a great vocalist.
Yeah, but he's brand new. You can't compare his experience to that of Wande Cole. The things Wande Cole has done, the songs Wande Cole has written for people that were still listening to.
And how long he has been relevant to the music industry.
So I'm not saying I love Fireboy by all means, but Wande Cole will always be a legend, and I don't think they should even be comparing it. So if you want to compare any boy, compare Fireboy and Jew Boy. Because I was having that.
But then, yeah, I think people are just taking this thing too deep and too far. I don't think they are comparing their career or what they have brought into the music industry. I think they were just picking on this particular song again, and I listened to it, so I think it's not that deep. It's not that deep. We have to listen to it again. Again. Yeah. All right, moving on to the next story. Chris Brown has been ordered to pay sanctions to woman allegedly raped at his house. According to court documents obtained by The Blast, a Los Angeles judge has demanded the singer pay $2,500 to the unidentified accused or accuser while settling a date for Brown to be deposed. And this is coming after his lawyers said they can no longer represent him because of some bridge on agreements or whatever obligations he's not meeting. So I don't know how good this is going to go. And he's supposed to be deposed on the 17th of February. Yeah.
I would say that Chris Brown is one of those singers that is very, very talented. He can sing, he can dance, he can. He's a performer. You know, people compare him to Michael Jackson. He's really, really.
Yeah, people do.
I know, but he's laughable.
Michael Jackson. But I think that he's also somebody who has been surrounded with a lot of controversy after controversies. Like, we cannot even get enough of the controversy. But I think in this particular case, it's not, the rape case is not about him. It's about his friend. It's his friend that is being accused in this
but he's seen as an enabler.
Yeah, but he's seen as an enabler. And they also, because there was one thing I noted in the story where the woman was like, she needs his phone records, probably because he and his friend would have had a conversation as regards that, so that would be helpful to our case. So I hope that it is resolved properly, and I hope that she gets her justice. And I also hope that
that she's being sincere.
I feel like she is. Looking at the fact that, once again, why is it that his lawyers are no longer representing him? When you take into consideration all of the
lawyers don't back down even when they know you're guilty. That's not how it works.
I don't think that's the reason why they're backing down.
They have other issues.
The fact that his lawyers now are dropping. They are no longer representing him. The case does not look good for him. So there's hope for her winning this case. That's just my point.
This is another case I think they'll just settle out of courts because, yes, it's in court already, but at the end of the day, the moment it starts looking this bad, then it's probably just going to opt for arbitration or something. So let's see how this goes, but I'm looking forward to the deposition, though, because then it's like a witness, what's it called now? Confession or on oath when you're talking about exactly what happened. And if you lie, that's perjury, you understand? So there's no way he's not going to lie. It's going to be done out of court, but let's see how this goes. I'm looking forward to that, and I hope we get the details of that, then we can decide. But let's see how it goes,
and
basically.
I hope Chris Brown's name would be out of the news for negative things.
I don't think so. I think he can't help but stay in trouble.
Wow. Okay. Thank you for watching, and you can catch up if you missed this episode by visiting our YouTube channel at Plus TV Africa. You can also subscribe. Just click the subscribe button at Plus TV Africa. You can also watch Tea Time on Auto TV and in London on Ben Television. My thank you as always go to my co-anchors Nimide Kombi and Ife Oluwashankaye and the entire production team. Thank you for watching. My name is Elsie Godwin. Stay blessed.
For upcoming artists to blow in Nigeria.
Welcome to Plus Trending. I am Bukky November, your host, saying thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Welcome back. It's Tea Time on Plus TV Africa.
Practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm a lot better than I used to be.
He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to.
My guest on this episode is one of the respected entertainment lawyers in Nigeria, Yemisi Falaye.
Creatives are a special breed. If you're not passionate about them and what you do for them, you're going to get frustrated. For now, there was nothing like law in the entertainment industry. People didn't know that they have to document their piece of work. You know, I can do beats, let's do beats. I can sing, let's vibe, and that's it. Some people still don't get it. They will still wait to get into trouble before they come to you. Once you sign an agreement, you are absolutely bound by the provisions of the agreement. People think Zlatan is this crazy guy that just likes to make trouble. But on the contrary, Zlatan is a church boy.
Premiering this Monday at 12:30 p.m. and a repeat broadcast at 8:30 p.m. on Plus TV Africa.
Welcome to Tea Time on Plus TV Africa, where we bring you the biggest entertainment stories and, of course, analyze them for you.
You can have both parents and still end up as a useless child. I see them every day.
Most times I worry more about where I'm coming from and where I am now, and that determines my next step.
Why are you sounding like
Alibaba
now?
Plus TV Africa, we're feeling good. No time to dull, everybody feeling alright.
Still make music and people are still buying. Sometimes I look myself minimal IU.
Akpala music is for mature-minded people. I got DMs sometimes from Malawi, like,
sleeping early.
Is it me, or does it feel like we're being spoiled for choice on topics to advocate on? There's so much going on this year.
I've spoken with a house help before, and I just asked, what's your name? She mentioned something. I said, so is that really your name? Then she laughed, and then she mentioned her name. You can imagine the indignity that you even take the name away from that 15-year-old. She has never stepped in a school.
Wow.
At age 50.
Yeah. So why would a graduate want to ride Okada?
But in Italy, they ride motorcycles up and down.
The rats that go over the grains, where they dry the grains, is the same Gary you buy from the market. So it's not that you in wherever you live, I don't know, the highbrow area, Banana Island.
Still buy
you buy that
make your own Gary.
It will still come to you.
The difference is with
unless you cook it,
you're meant to cook it.
Yeah, but people drink Gary.
Yes, that's
okay. The rich don't drink Gary.
No. I think beans and Gary.
Yes, they go together. You buy that one that they sell in small bag.
A lot of the jobs that exist today will not exist in the next 10 years.
When I see people today shouting, we're not too young to run, we are ready to run. Ready to run to where?
The people of excellence are, to a certain extent, being held ransom by idiots and bandits.
Once you are in government, you believe everything you do is right. And once you are in opposition, everything the government does is wrong.
And so it's time for us to take over power.
In a world of overwhelming voices, where everyone has something to say,
it is important that we bring the core issues to the fore.
As we lend our voices to inspire, inform, influence, and provoke your thoughts and action.
We want to hear these issues and know what you are saying.
This is not just women talking.
It is an evocative program that touches the core of our existence.
We take on topics some may consider taboo and want to sweep under the carpet.
We understand that what touches one touches all.
We know you have a lot to say, so let's hear you.
Hey, what's up, guys? You're welcome to another edition of Plus Event, and I remain your host, Ifeoluwa Oshukeye.
Your absence isn't an excuse anymore, as Plus Events is all you need, as we bring you the glitz, the glamour, and loads of fun.
Oh, definitely. Like, no question. He's a living legend.
Oh, God forbid, Holy Ghost fire, I know.
I just want to be blown away. I want to be wild. This is 11 years of doing it.
I'm surrounded by so much positivity.
No, it's okay.
Yo, what's up, my people? It's your boy Starboy Terry. You're watching Plus Event
on Plus TV. Stay glued to Plus TV Africa every Saturday and Sunday, 4:30 p.m. West African time.
First point of accountability is asking questions.
Hello and welcome to Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoko.
Hi everyone, welcome to Plus Trending.
You cannot continue to recycle poverty while you're spending a lot of money on unproductive ventures.
The government has to feel the impact.
Honorable Commissioner, sir, welcome to the show.
Today's top stories are
And the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria.
I'm here at Eunice Bashorin Street, where the
fire destroyed our transformer complete castle.
beat you to the lowest level you can.
I'm Lakme Banjo. This is Plus TV Africa. The big stories live here.
Big stories live here.
Big stories live here.
My country people, you do well, so you join us inside news on the hour for Plus TV Africa. And this one, Adentori, we want some give honor until this very o'clock. My name, Nadestiny Momo. The Supreme Court on Friday supports the conviction of a before governor of Taraba, Jolin Yame. The court for two judgments when they do for two panels. He said Justice Adebukola Banjoko of the High Court for the Federal Capital Territory inside Gudu, Abuja, they right to convict both men for the evidence when the prosecution, when they led by Rotimi Jacobs, SAN, bring. The judgment today for the appeals when Yame filed against the judgment for the High Court of the FCT and when then give on May 30, 2019. For the May 30 judgment, the trial court convicted Yame for 27 out of the 41 counts when he charged when the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, filed against him and during by July 2007. The trial court sentenced him to 28 years imprisonment without any option for fine. And Mike Zekome, when he be cancelled to Mohamed Adoke before Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, he answered the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission don't carry in client. Go to Federal Medical Center inside Abuja. Adoke day for detention even as he meets Bill Condi and when the Federal Capital Territory High Court grant him during by January 30. And EFCC, some are accused for the before minister head, say he abused office for the OPL 245 deal when then signed during by April 2011. The anti-graft agency say he take 300 million naira bribe for September 2013 when he passed 2 years after then sift the deal. And for one yarnings on Thursday, Zekome Yan say the court take opportunity of inclined to poor health before then grant and bail as they wonder why the anti-graft agency never obeyed the order. The senior advocate of Nigeria SAN, they say inclined to continue detention, don't cause a carry do of inclined and no be charged. The Clean Foundation don't say they no put hand for the work of the Administrative Criminal Justice Act nationwide. The Oga Patapata of the foundation, Dr. Benson Olugbo, for one public presentation for summary findings when they monitor the work for the administration of a Criminal Justice Act for 30 states of the Federation, and shows say they never meet the expectation for the act. And Dr. Olugbo, they call for training and retraining of law enforcement officers to understand what's the work of the act.
Despite the passage of this Administration of Criminal Justice Act, its effective implantation into the national criminal justice system has remained slow, and the age-long challenges in the criminal justice process for which the Act was enacted still persist. While concerted efforts are being made from various quarters, states and non-state actors alike, the need to sustain momentum on the advocacy necessitated Clean Foundation and other partners to design a follow-up project targeted at strengthening accountability and transparency in the criminal justice system in Nigeria through sustained advocacy and monitoring of implementation of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015. What we've also noticed actually is that the Nigerian police personnel requires a lot of training and retraining in terms of gathering of evidence and also using that evidence in actually a court of law. And that is actually one of the key things we have done in our interaction with police personnel.
And the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, they don't draw ear, give politicians when they do anyhow inside Edo and Ondo states. Make them not put mind for the release of the timetable for the governorship election to bring plenty tension inside the states. The commission Sama Beta Yana say make nobody see the election date when they release as signal to take a start the recruitment plus arming of thugs plus hoodlums before the elections. And the register 74 as it take Yana. And Nigeria get less than 20 register.